can't beat the real thing. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Randy Hahn, and welcome to our continuing coverage of this first ever Women's World Championship of Soccer here on Sports Channel America. We are into the playoffs, the quarterfinal round, as the United States gets ready to play Taiwan. The USA is undefeated so far. They swept their group competition with victories over Sweden, Brazil, and Japan, and now it's on to the single elimination round. Working with me once again is Rick Davis. And Rick, the United States with a very impressive run through the first 3 games, but the level of intensity gets turned up a little bit now as we're into the playoff round.
Well, this is where it really all matters, because here it's single elimination. You have a bad game, and suddenly you're packing your bags and you're on your way home. No question about it. The United States team is on a roll. They rolled through the first round, started off with a tough game against Sweden, did real well against Brazil, ended up finishing a good opening round match with Japan. So I think that we've got to expect that they'll end up doing well here today.
By all accounts, the Taiwan team was the weakest of the 8 that qualified. I guess that would lead us to believe that the United States is favored to do pretty well in this game.
Well, I think that's what's happening. I think people are looking at the fact that the United States should go through here, but that's one of those scenarios in sports that you really have to watch out for. You look too far beyond the game that's at the present hand, and suddenly, once again, you're on your way home and everybody else is still playing.
In just 90 minutes, we will know if the United States is in the Final Four of the world in women's soccer. The United States coming up in their quarterfinal match against Taiwan. And when we return from China, Matt Barr with all the play-by-play action. You're watching the FIFA Women's World Championship of Soccer on
the low to mid-60s, cloudy skies, a chance of rain here in Foshan, China, as the United States get set to battle Taiwan in the quarterfinals of the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. Hi again, everybody. I'm Kevin Wall, along with Matt Barr. Great to have you with us. Another big crowd, over 13,000, a sellout here in Foshan for this battle between the United States and Taiwan. Great to have you with us. Let's check the Coca-Cola starting lineups. First for the United States, Mary Harvey back in goal. She is 3-0 in this tournament, having allowed just 2 goals. April Henrichs back in the lineup. She sat out the game against Japan. Shannon Higgins also sat out that contest against Japan. Carla Werden will be back on defense again, wearing number 4. Linda Hamilton wearing number 8. Mia Hamm will make the start again. She wears number 9. Michelle Akers-Stahl wearing number 10. The U.S. needs a lot of offense from her. Julie Foudy will be wearing number 11 tonight. Karen Jennings, number 12. Christine Lilly, number 13. And Joy Biefeld back in the starting lineup for the United States women's national team. And here's a look at the United States women's national team. And now for Taiwan. Opening up in goal, it will be Li-Chyn Hong. Number 3 is Chen. Chu-Yin Lo wears number 4. Tai-Ying Chao, number 6. Lin will be wearing number 7. Su-Xia wearing number 8. Su-Ching Wu wearing number 9. Chi-Cheng Su wears number 11. Lan-Fen Lan wearing number 12. Min-Hsun Wu wearing number 15. And Su-Chin Chen wearing number 16. That's a look at the Taiwan national women's team.
Well, Taiwan only comes into this game with 1 win. They beat Nigeria 2-0. They lost to Italy and Germany. So the U.S., this is the most favorable draw for the U.S. They should win this game. It's one of the games that they have to win, and right now they're in a single elimination tournament.
The United States utilized the air a great deal against Japan. They had a size mismatch, same sort of size mismatch here tonight against the Taiwanese.
The U.S. most likely will be using the air more often than not. They have that advantage, so they'll certainly try to take advantage of it. They play a good tactical game, and Anson Durrance will most certainly try that.
There you get a look at the officials, the referee from the Congo, and the linespersons from Germany and Sweden, and the alternate official from Tunisia.
It's nice to see, again, here are 2 women linesmen. This is a tournament of first, the first women's championship, and the first time women's lineswomen have been used in the tournament.
Or are they linesperson? I don't know that anybody's figured that one out.
Well, they're calling them lineswomen, so we'll go with lineswomen.
Well, this is a single elimination tournament right now. Of course, round-robin play until now in the first round, the U.S. going 3-0. But now, one win, and you move on, a loss, and you are done in the tournament. Do you change the style at this point if you're Anson-Dorrance?
For the U.S., no. You cannot change the style. You have to go with what got you there. It was an attacking style. They scored a lot of goals, and the Chinese press calls the U.S. three forwards the three blades, the three-edged knife. Jennings, Henrichs, and Akers-Stahl. Between them, they have 8 goals and 3 assists. You can stop 2 of the blades, but the third will still cut you.
Well, the U.S. coming into this game, they have all the momentum in their favor. They are operating really on all cylinders.
They really are, except for a little lapse against Sweden in their first game. They've been playing some great soccer. And don't forget, Hamm also has 2 goals. They are hitting on all 8 cylinders. It's really a fine-tuned machine, and they're just exciting to watch, Ken.
You know, we have talked a lot, Matt, about the offense and Akers-Stahls and Karen Jennings and April Henrichs, but the case for the defense, a very positive one. They have allowed just 2 goals so far.
Oh, they are playing such good soccer. It's strong. Mary Harvey in goal sets it all up. But the real key to the defense is the sweeper, Carla Werden. She controls everything, does all the talking, puts the people in defensive position. Then, of course, Debbie Belkin and Joy Biefeld is the one to watch. Her defense includes a lot of attacking. The other 2 are in the midfield, Linda Hamilton and the defensive center midfielder, Julie Foudy. I mean, that group together is a terrific defense.
Well, you had a chance earlier to see this crowd. Not a lot of empty seats here in Foshan, China, as the United States gets set to battle Taiwan. Of course, they have been friends for many years, nationally and internationally, but here on the soccer field in Foshan, they will be anything but friendly. This one is obviously a part of the battle for the M&M Cup. Taiwan will kick it off. Su-Ching over there along with Meei-Chun Lin. And we are underway. It is great to be with you here from Foshan. Taiwan on the attack. Back there quickly. Joy Biefeld. Biefeld sat out the game against Japan. As Anson-Dorrance got a lot of his regulars some rest, substituted freely. And really a great opportunity to get a lot of the players that may have had some nicks and bruises back into game condition.
That's right. They're almost 100% for this game. They're really pumped up for it because this is the nuts and bolts time of the tournament. You must win to advance. And the U.S. couldn't be in better position. They are playing the team that they wanted to play. They're not as strong as the others in the tournament as it stands right now. And they are expecting to win. It's as simple as that.
So the ball will go back to Taiwan. They'll have a free kick in the United States zone. Defense has been one of the keys for the United States. Tai-Ying Chow will put the ball into play. She wears number 6. Powers the ball towards the goal and over. Mary Harvey was there just in case. And the goal kick to the United States.
Well, the 3 keys for the U.S. in this game are, first, offensively, be offensive. Use the 3 blades. Use Jennings, Henrichs, and Akers-Stahl. You must attack to win this game. Secondly, the loose balls belong to the USA. Don't give up anything. Don't concede anything. Anytime Taiwan has the ball, attack it. Get it right back. And third, an aggressive defense all over the field. When you control the midfield, you have the ball winner, Julie Foudy, but the playmaker, Shannon Higgins, she's going to be a key in the midfield. On the defense, as we said before, it's Carla Werden setting everything up and determining how much of a defense you need in any given location.
Here's Karen Jennings. Plays it on the wing for Mia Hamm. Boy, the Taiwanese appear to be cat quick out there tonight. Ball out of bounds. Throw into the United States. They appear to be much quicker than the Japanese that we saw just a couple of days ago here in Foshan.
Not only quicker, but they're immediately using that long ball that the Japanese almost refused to use extensively. They used a lot of ball control in the midfield. The Taiwanese are already hitting the long ball up to try to bypass some of the zones in the U.S. defense.
Ball out of bounds. It will belong to Taiwan on a throw-in. No score. We are in the opening minutes of the first half here in Foshan, China, United States and Taiwan. This is the quarterfinals of the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer, and it's great to have you with us. I'm Kevin Wall, along with Matt Barr. Ball will be thrown in from the sideline. And Michelle Akers-Stahl deflects that one out of bounds, so another throw in. Big question is, the United States offense, with all of the guns in there, with the 3 blades in there, after kind of mixing and matching against Japan, will the chemistry be there? Karen Jennings deflects, finally controlled by the United States. Now they play it. Christine Lilly. Lily's pass headed away. Controlled by Taiwan's Xie. Xie is down on a whistle for dangerous play against Taiwan. With the player down on the field, they'll almost always get that dangerous play call.
Sure, because she has put herself in a dangerous position. She's laying there with the ball on the ground. She can get hurt.
Here's a drive just up over the crossbar and over the goal. So a break in the action. We'll be back to Foshan, China right after this.
Midfielder, but yet she gets the first shot off. I love it. You know, she comes up with a shot right away and doesn't hesitate to pull the trigger. This is what the U.S. team is known for, attacking, and everyone shoots. Anytime they get near the goal, shoot.
Here's Mia Hamm. Plays the ball towards the area, looking for Karen Jennings. Jennings gets to the ball first, actually beats the Taiwanese defender. Now throws it out in front. Finally cleared away by Tai-Ying Chow. Back to get it for the United States, Joy Biefeld. Very calm, very cool, very collected. Off the toss by Mary Harvey. Here's Linda Hamilton. Hamilton had a great game against Brazil, shutting out their high-scoring forward, Belo. Now Hamilton. Plays it wide. Joy Biefeld. Nice overlapping run. Now the ball played back as Taiwan tried to counter, but the U.S. right there again. Now here's a nice through pass to Akers-Stahl. Michelle with the ball in the area. Knocks it out in front, knocked towards the end line. Low knocked it towards the end line, picked off there by Li-Chyn.
Did you see Michelle Akers-Stahl there? I mean, that's what the U.S. has to do. It was an aggressive play to bump the defender off the ball and win it in what would otherwise be a routine defensive play.
United States on the attack again. This time, ball stolen, and stolen back by the Taiwanese. The weather almost perfect for soccer. Temperature right around 65 degrees. Cloudy skies. There is a chance of rain. Hopefully it will hold off. Here's Shannon Higgins. She's the playmaker. Ball loose, but right there, Julie Foudy.
Most shooting teams like a cool game like this because the field gets a little damp at night, so you get that little dew on the field, so your shots, your low shots, skip a little bit more and they're more effective. So shooting teams like those evening games with a little bit of moisture on the field.
Here's Jennings playing it to Michelle Akers-Stahl. Good ball handler. A real leader on this team. There's a tough tackle. Ball out of bounds.
They don't want to let her loose. They're marking her close because she is one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world.
Linda Hamilton had thought a foul had been called. Instead, they're going to rule a throw-in, no foul. And listen to the crowd chanting, USA. Here's Karen Jennings. Breaks free. Splits the defense. Crosses it in front. The shot saved. Rebound score! Michelle Akers-Stahl. And the U.S. goes on top. 1-0.
Great move by Karen Jennings. She splits 2 defenders with her own pass, brings it to the end line, crosses it across. Great shot. I didn't see who came into the screen, but there's Michelle Akers-Stahl to pick up the rebound off the keeper.
What a move by Jennings to split the defense.
Now watch this. A rapid shot. Bang! Comes in. Keeper does everything she can just to get a hand on that. Michelle Akers-Stahl is there to finish it off.
Mia Hamm with the initial shot. Here you see it from ground level. A header, flying header by Mia Hamm. And Michelle Akers-Stahl right there to knock it in. It's 1-0 U.S. 8 minutes officially into the first half.
Did you notice how many U.S. players were in the 18-yard area? There must have been 5, 6 U.S. players right in there. Mia Hamm with that incredible diving header. That was great.
That is fun to watch. These women play a great brand of soccer. And I think they have opened a lot of eyes, not just in this country, but around the world. And you can bet the folks in the state are taking note, watching here on Sports Channel America.
You can't say enough about them. There are 6 million kids playing soccer. 40% of them, almost 2.5 million kids, are women, are girls playing soccer right now. And these girls have to be an inspiration to those young girls playing in the leagues right now.
Here's Jennings. Her cross in front. Loose. There's the drive off the crossbar. The United States relentless in their pursuit of yet another goal. Mia Hamm. Boy, she had the big header earlier. She came close here.
See the little smile there? She knows she's that close to scoring a goal. Michelle Akers-Stahl missed the short post head. She was just up. There were 2 U.S. players on the short post and then 2 more U.S. players following up the shot on the back post.
You know, I think that little smile, that little half smile of confidence, she knows she'll get another chance.
Absolutely. The way they're attacking right now, Taiwan has to be careful not to let this get out of hand in the first few minutes.
Ball loose, cleared out of the area. Injured player downfield. We'll have to wait and see what this is all about. Now Shannon Higgins. Lays it to Christine Lilly. Now Julie Foudy gains control. And out of bounds it goes. As an injured player down to the field, that may have been simply to allow the training staff to come out. There you get a look at Chi-Cheng Su. We have a couple of Sus, a couple of Wus. We got the market covered.
And 2 Chens.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Boy, you look at the big crowd here at Foshan. And this is a tremendous facility for soccer. Just a beautiful facility. Apparently Karen Jennings is okay.
Because she dribbles the ball a lot, she realizes that she's going to get knocked around a lot. She knows that's going to happen. It doesn't make it any more fun, but she knows because she's known as a one-on-one player, she draws a lot of punishment, and that's what happened there.
Ball will be played in to Christine Lilly. Lilly gets it to Karen Jennings. Again, she has space. Jennings going wide. Ooh, just out of bounds.
That's the 3rd time Karen Jennings has beaten that defense down the left side. She is going to kill them if they let her continue to do it.
Taiwan has to find a way to stop Karen Jennings. Boy, Karen Jennings, outstanding tournament so far. Boy, one of the go-to people for the United States.
Well, she's one of the old-timers that survived the purge that Anson Durrance had when he first came onto the team.
Jennings out of Palos Verdes, California. U.S. controls on the attack again. Nice through ball to Akers-Stahl. Taiwanese intercept that pass, play it back into Hong. Li-Chyn Hong, goalkeeper for Taiwan. Now up ahead to Low, back to Hong.
I think Taiwan wants to slow the pace down. They've gotten a little disheveled in their defense, and they just want to slow it down because the U.S. is really attacking with a purpose.
You know, what's amazing is that with all of the offense, they are also so organized defensively. Now Michelle Akers-Stahl, one-on-one, going wide, gets the cross away. Hong just gets a hand on it. And over the line it goes. We'll be back with more from Foshan, China after this timeout. Goal kick coming up for the Taiwanese. Li-Chyn Hong plays it into the midfield. Karen Jennings can't catch up with it. You know, these players are obviously teammates, but a couple of these players have been on opposite sides of the field before.
That's right. April Henrichs and Shannon Higgins are both coaches in the same neighborhood. April Henrichs coaches the University of Maryland, and Shannon Higgins coaches George Washington University. They both lost their home openers, and then when they faced off against each other, Heinrich's Maryland team lost 4-3 to Higgins' George Washington squad.
So much for friendship.
Oh, no, actually, I was under the impression that some of the national team players were betting on that game to see which of their teammates would win that opening game.
The throw-in will belong to the United States. Joy Biefeld will play it in. Finds Karen Jennings. Jennings has had tremendous success up the wing. Now gets it ahead, Christine Lilly. Lilly, nice slide tackle there by Sue. And Sue clears it ahead. Taiwan with a nice build-up. Crowd appreciative of the effort by the Taiwanese. On the back pass, that's Carla Werden.
You know, Kevin, I think those bets were for hamburgers and french fries because they didn't have much money to bet much else.
I tell you, the favorite food of these players on the U.S. team, it's all pizza, burgers.
You talk about food. Thanksgiving just occurred, and the tour director set up the tour for the families for the U.S. squad, said, Thanksgiving is coming up. We need some turkeys for our Thanksgiving meal. Sure enough, the Chinese hosts complied. That morning at 7 o'clock, 6 live turkeys were delivered to the tour director's room.
That's tremendous. Just 15 minutes into this first half, and boy, I tell you, we have seen some great action over this tournament. You'll see it all right here on Sports Channel America. Shannon Higgins, she's the playmaker of this team, crosses it in front. First time ball up across the goal line and almost into the crowd.
Michelle Akers-Stahl took that shot, and she didn't hesitate. She works a lot with her husband, Robbie Stahl, in that. He runs a number of coaching clinics, a number of soccer clinics, and that's what they work on, shooting. So she says her game is vastly improved because of her husband's work with her and the clinics she does with him.
And of course, Robbie, a former North American Soccer League player, former professional player.
I'm not sure if I ever played against him, but that's a long time ago.
I know we don't want to get into gene research, but you think there'll be any young soccer players in that family soon?
Oh, I'll tell you, if they do, they couldn't have two better coaches to work for. Those kids will grow up in a great atmosphere, that's for sure.
The United States leading in this one 1-0 on the goal by Michelle Akers-Stahl. Coming at the 8-minute mark. Unassisted. Ball thrown in and controlled by the Taiwanese. But look at that tenacious U.S. defense. There's a double team along the sideline, out of bounds. And the throw in, nope, they're going to give it to Taiwan. Nope, they're going to give it to the United States. Nope, it will be Taiwan.
In the last game against Japan, Anson Durrance put Michelle Akers-Stahl up as far up as he could in the offense. He wanted her to get some goals. She had been having troubles getting some goals lately, and he wanted to get her back into the swing of things. She seems to have broken out of that. She's got 4 goals in this tournament so far, and that's good to see. She's the U.S.'s leading all-time scorer for the national team.
Coming into the tournament, you knew that you wanted to get Michelle Akers-Stahl. You wanted to get people like Shannon Higgins, April Henrichs, Karen Jennings on track offensively, and the United States team has done just that in the first 3 games. Ball controlled by Karen Jennings. Her pass. Henrichs knocked down. No foul on the play. They say play on.
Taiwan is playing a very aggressive defense. They don't want to let any free balls loose for the U.S. to have, and so they're knocking the U.S. players around. On the other hand, the U.S. likes when the game gets physical, so I think you'll see the U.S. pick up their play a notch a bit.
Michelle Akers-Stahl. Left-footed cross. The header. Oh, the save made, but a foul. And let's see what it's going to be here. A whistle.
The captain, April Henrichs, really fought for that ball. That was a good header by her that challenged the keeper, Hamm.
Watch the cross by Michelle Akers-Stahl.
See how she got her body in position to win that header? I think that's what the foul was for, but she really did a good job getting in position.
Tremendous header. And the ball goes over to Taiwan. U.S. leading by a score of 1-0. There you get a look at Linda Hamilton. 5'6", 148 pounds, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Another one of those North Carolina connections. Off the throw-in, rejected. Boy, Taiwan, I've been really impressed in the early going. They've been quick, they've been aggressive, they've been very tough on defense.
They have to be. This is a tenacious defense, and they need to be. The U.S. offense is just so overwhelming. If they get into that rhythm where the goals come fast and furious, they're so dangerous. So that's why Taiwan just wants to keep this close right now and maybe get a long ball and a quick goal.
Shannon Higgins will throw it in for the United States. Now April Henrichs with a touch. Controlled instead by Su-Ching. Long ball, right side. Finds Lin. But right there, Joy Biefeld. And Biefeld clears it. Ahead to Karen Jennings. Now Carla Werden. Now Biefeld. Feeds quickly. Michelle Akers-Stahl, nice sliding tackle. Out of bounds. And the U.S. should get a corner kick here. Injured player down on the field. As the U.S. will get set for a throw-in. We're just about halfway through the first half. Again, halves. 40 minutes in length. Again, we are in Foshan, China. The first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. And while the injured player is attended to, we'll take this timeout. Basketball, the coaches rant and rave. Well, here's a look at the Taiwan bench. Very placid, very calm. Su-Pin Chang, their head coach. And as we take a look at the American bench, much the same story.
With the mustache there, that's the goalkeeper coach, Tony DeChico, Anson Durance on the end. And between those two, you'll see her for just a moment, is the assistant coach, Lauren Gregg. There she is. Good job, guys. Great coaching.
Now Michelle Akers-Stahl puts it into the area, rejected there. And Taiwan doing a good job of bottling up the U.S. here. They're creating chances, but not getting that second shot. Karen Jennings has the ball deflected away. Now it's played back into the keeper. Li-Chyn Hong. You can hear the women, the American women, they're communicating.
They're shouting things like, keep the pressure, don't let them out, keep the pressure. And that's what they're doing, keeping the play in the Taiwan end of the field.
On ball by Hong. And corralled finally by Michelle Akers-Stahl. Here's Foudy. And Hong has to come out. I'm Kevin Wall along with Matt Barr. Foshan, China, the site. The first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. The United States leading in this quarterfinal matchup with Taiwan, 1-0. Great to have you with us. Here's Linda Hamilton. She plays it quickly ahead. Taiwan doing a good job of giving the U.S. one, maybe two passes, but that's it. They're not giving them the long runs. Foul there against Shwu-Ju Chen.
It looks like she's going to get a card, a little yellow card.
She does. She gets a caution. So Chen caution. But it's the 23rd minute.
If Taiwan is to be successful, they have to keep this tenacious defense. Be very physical. Don't give the U.S. any room at all because they'll kill you if you give them a chance.
Off the free kick, headed and out of bounds. So a goal kick coming up to Taiwan. These two teams battling for the M&M Cup. There you get a look at Christine Lilly. 40 goals, 18 assists in just 2 years at North Carolina. She's just 20 years old.
Star of the future and a star right now. She's really playing good ball.
Well, you got to wonder if this U.S. team is this solid now. Imagine some of these young players at age 24, 25.
Well, he seems to have a good mix, and he seems to always have an eye on the future. Win now, but also win in the future. So he's constantly building. He's building with his team in North Carolina, too.
In fact, they're involved in the finals of the NCAA tournament. We should be getting a final in either late tonight or early tomorrow. And I know a lot of these North Carolina folks are very interested to see how the Tar Heels are doing. There's a nice cross. And boy, the crowd just loves it. They want to see Taiwan do well. Throw in to Taiwan. Drop it back. Attempted cross by Wu. Deflects out of bounds off of Karen Jennings. And that will result in either a corner or a throw-in. We'll have to see where they set them up.
And there's one of the big scorers, Karen Jennings, all the way back in the back of the defense, playing defense for the team. That's the style all over the field.
Chia-Cheng Su with the corner kick for Taiwan. Out in front, knocked down and cleared. So the U.S. doing what it had to do there.
Taiwan tried to negate the U.S. side by playing a short corner and then maybe getting it skipped on. Didn't work, but it was a good idea.
Unofficially into the 25th minute. And again, Taiwan. Chia-Cheng Su will throw in. Played in right there, Christine Lilly. Using good skill, loses it though. Ball centered in front and rejected very calmly, coolly. Joy Biefeld. I tell you, the U.S. never seems to get rattled. The only time in this tournament we've seen them remotely out of kilter was against Sweden, and for a very short period of time. Here's Michelle Akers-Stahl. Her feed broken up.
They are,
and a throw-in.
You're right, Kevin. They are playing with great poise and confidence. Even with a little melee in the goal mouth there, they still maintained their poise and came out knowing exactly what they wanted to do with the ball.
Carla Werden plays the ball right side. Linda Hamilton. Now Akers-Stahl battles for the ball. It rolls out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up. And they're going to say it belongs to Taiwan. Ball played in. Here's Mia Hamm. Now Taiwan. Min-Hsun Wu. Taken down hard, that time by Julie Foudy. The intensity of this game picking up a little bit. Now Su plays it towards the area. Knocked high in the air. Here's Lao Fen Lan. And the ball rolls out of bounds. We'll get a throw in here.
Taiwan is really playing good ball right now. It's not surprising because they played good ball to get here, but they're playing the U.S. aggressively, especially out of the defense, giving them very little space to do anything.
Headed forward. April Henrichs can't control. Lan with it. Now they finally pass it back into their own end. Chu-Yin low. Where's number 4? I've got to agree with you, Matt. I'm really impressed with the Taiwanese. They played aggressively. They're playing confidently. They feel like they can beat the U.S. Now Wu with it. They play it ahead, Karen Jennings. Jennings, nice run. Now being closed down. Ooh, tough tackle there, and I think she fell on the ball.
She got the wind knocked out of her. She landed on the ball, but notice Karen Jennings got the ball at midfield and just dribbled right at the goal. She has such confidence in her ball control that she doesn't hesitate to attack. She knows she's going to get popped. In this case, she got pulled down from behind.
And while the trainers attend to Karen Jennings, we'll take this timeout.
Got the foul, you got the shot, let it go. So she can appeal to the official. Maybe she can get something later, but it looks like Karen Jennings will be all right. Got the wind knocked out of her.
And she pops up, apparently okay. By the way, the referee, Yengo from the Congo. So the restart will be outside the D. And let's see. Michelle Akers-Stahl along with Chris Lilly. See who will touch it first. The defense sets itself. Michelle Akers-Stahl, she shoots, she scores! Michelle Akers-Stahl popped it over the blocking wall, and the U.S. leads it by a score of 2-0.
Great shot by Michelle Akers-Stahl. She took advantage of the lack of size of the Taiwan wall and then just bent it over top of the wall with a very accurate shot into the upper left-hand corner. You can't ask for anything more than that. Watch this control.
That was absolutely perfectly placed.
Brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. Anson Duran says the reason she's so feared all over the world is that she has so many dimensions to her game. She's a nightmare matchup for any defender.
There you get a look at the time. Over 30 minutes gone in this first half. Official time, of course, kept down on the field. U.S. on top 2-0 in this quarterfinal game with Taiwan. But Taiwan has played brilliantly. And it has taken some world-class play by the United States to take a 2-goal lead. Ball powered out of play. Well, they talk about Michelle Akers-Stahl. I know Anson Dorrance calls her the best player in the world. And that is saying something.
Really is. And I'd have to agree with him. She has shown so many sides of her play. Like with the other forwards up there, she's impossible to stop.
Well, when you double-team Michelle Akers-Stahl, you give her some company. And she's smart enough to dish it off to a Karen Jennings or an April Henrichs. Ball played out of bounds. It'll be a throw into the United States.
And absolutely, Michelle Akers-Stahl is probably one of the most unselfish players you'll find on the field. She realizes that her success is due to everyone else around her, and she always gives everyone credit. For any of her success, she gives everyone else the credit.
United States with Julie Foudy. Looking for April Henrichs, and again trying to run into space. This time the Taiwanese were back. Now a foul. Karen Jennings jumping into the Taiwanese midfielder. Su going down. Apparently okay. So the free kick will belong to Taiwan. We are under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. U.S. leading 2-0.
Taiwan and their attack is doing what Japan really didn't do a lot in the game, is they're playing the long ball up there. That seems to be the way to beat the U.S. defense. Sweden did it in the first game and got 2 goals out of it, and maybe could have gotten a couple others. Japan's really only attacks were off of long balls, and Taiwan looks like they scouted the U.S. and realized the only way to get past this U.S. defense is with that long ball.
Now the United States, April Henrichs. Plays it crossfield. Nice ball. Looking for Linda Hamilton. Hamilton crosses in front, fisted out of there by Hong. Rebound, Stahl. She scores! Michelle Akers-Stahl. And she's got 3. The United States leading 3-0.
She's got a hat trick in the first 33 minutes, and this one again was just like the first goal. A good sequence, cross, a shot, and she's there to finish off the rebound. Now here's the cross by Linda Hamilton. The keeper saves it, but not well enough because it comes right to Michelle Akers-Stahl. She drives it in.
An amazing performance by one of the best women's players in the world. Michelle Akers-Stahl. Hamilton's cross, Hong doing her job, and Akers-Stahl just drilling it.
Well, see, if Hong doesn't come out to save that ball, there's Karen Jennings on the far post to ram it home. So she has to make that save, even though she can't get her hands on it. About the only thing Hong could have done there is maybe hit the ball up in the air. But you're stretching that far. That's almost impossible to do.
Now Christine Lilly. Her cross out in front. Headed out of the danger zone. Foudy tries to clear it back in. Misfires. Now Julie Foudy in traffic. Her pass broken up by Wu. Out of bounds it goes, and a throw-in coming up to the United States.
Do you see the pace of the U.S. attack pick up? They've scored another goal, and now they're all pushing forward, trying to get another goal, a fourth goal.
Karen Jennings trying to work her way inside, and the play halted there as Hong fields it. We will come back to Foshan, China right after this.
Most guys kick back on the weekends. Jack, on the other hand, good. So, how do you feel?
Ready to rock and roll.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Tomorrow,
We're sleeping in.
Li-Chyn Hong, goalkeeper for Taiwan, has yielded 3 goals already to Michelle Akers-Stahl. I'm not sure if you can fault her for any of the 3.
No, you really can't. However, she's going to be under a lot of heat all day. 3 might not be all there is. The U.S. has such an attack, and they don't want to lapse, so they're going to continue attacking the goal.
Well, you play against this U.S. team, an attacking, aggressive U.S. team. You're a goalkeeper. You better get a good night's rest the night before and eat a good, hearty breakfast, because you're going to be busy. Now a steal by Mia Hamm, and a corner coming up to the United States.
The Taiwan defense has been suspect in the other games. They lost to Italy 5-0. They lost to Germany 3-0. So goals are being scored against them. They've been playing tenacious defense, not letting the free balls go, but they've not had that finishing right now. The little melees around the net, they've got burned on twice. The rebounds off the keeper or a defensive player.
Corner kick coming up to the United States. Karen Jennings wears number 12. The chip into the area. Knocked down, the shot, up over the crossbar and out of play. Well, Julie Foudy doing a good job up front. Normally a defensive type of midfielder, but getting up into the offense. Everybody's getting into the offense tonight.
It's almost like the Sharks are circling. I mean, they smell the blood. They've gotten a couple goals. They know they can take even more chances. When you get ahead like this, you can leave the defense a little bit more exposed because you have a cushion, so you can attack even more. You see that in the men's game when you get a 2-goal lead or a 3-goal lead, that all the men attack. It's only when the games are 1-0 or 2-1 that the men's game gets real dry.
Michelle Akers-Stahl gives way now to Jennings. Keeps it in bounds. Nice move by Karen Jennings. Now Jennings crosses it into the area, rejected there. Now Linda Hamilton. Soft pass taken there. Low plays it back to Li-Chyn Hong. U.S. right now up 3-0.
Taiwan looks like it's trying to slow the pace down to keep the U.S. from that aggressive attack, that fast attack.
Ball headed down in the midfield. They were looking for April Henrichs. Again, Hong has it. Hong will drive it out of there. Chested down and a foul from behind. Karen Jennings was taken down. Christine Lilly will play it in on the free kick from the midfield area. U.S. leading by 3. Plays it in, out in front. Ball is loose, the shot, the score! Julie Foudy! What a goal by Julie Foudy, and the U.S. up by 4.
This goal was set up all from a dead ball situation, taking advantage of the height differential. Here you saw Christine Lilly hitting a long ball up front. Michelle Akers-Stahl gets up for it. And right there, Julie Foudy drives it in by just stretching for it, winning a 50-50 ball. Now here's a better angle on it. Christine Lilly sends it up. Watch Michelle Akers-Stahl beat two defenders just to skip it on. And there's Foudy ready to take it in.
A great second effort goal by Julie Foudy, and the U.S. up by 4.
Michelle Akers-Stahl has been involved in all 4 of the goals for the U.S. right now.
We are down under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Foudy gets the goal. Lilly and Akers-Stahl the assist. 38 minutes into the first half. So we are just under 2 minutes remaining. Official time being kept down on the field.
The U.S. might have put this game away in the first half. This is amazing. It's incredible to watch this U.S. team attack. So much fun.
Brilliant soccer played by the U.S. through the first 3 games. And tonight in the first half, simply overpowering. Joy Biefeld up the right side finds Mia Hamm. Hamm will take on the defender. Centers in front, knocked down by Hong. Good thing she did. Michelle Akers-Stahl was on the doorstep.
I was beginning to think that the right side of the Taiwan defense was suspect because of all the times that Karen Jennings went by that defense. But there's Mia Hamm running by the left side of the Taiwan defense. I mean, the speed of this U.S. team is simply overwhelming right now. They're winning all the 50-50 balls. The only way Taiwan is holding the U.S. down is by the close marking and trying to challenge balls before the U.S. can take advantage of their speed.
Down under a minute remaining in this first half. U.S. leading 4-0 over Taiwan. Now Linda Hamilton swings it wide. There's Joy Biefeld. Her pass knocked free. Controlled by Chu-Yin low. And back it comes to the goalkeeper, Hong. The United States goals by Julie Foudy and 3 by Michelle Akers-Stahl. Absolutely an incredible offensive performance.
And all different kinds of goals. Goals off of a melee in front of the net, a deflection, a goal just off of a great free kick, and then a goal off of a dead ball situation, skipping the ball on, and a follow-up shot. I mean, they score in so many different ways. That's what's incredible about this U.S. team. It's not one-dimensional, it's multi-dimensional in its attack.
We are now into injury time, extra time. Time now being kept down on the field. Mia Hamm decides to play it back. The U.S. with a 4-goal lead. I'm just about certain they will continue to attack. And there you have it. There you have it, the end of the first half, and what an impressive first half it was for the United States, leading by a score of 4-0. Let's take a break. You're watching the first FIFA World Championship for Women's Soccer on Sports Channel America. Today's game is presented by Mars Milky Way Bar. Enjoy the smooth chocolate and caramel taste of the original smoothie. And brought to you by Adidas Equipment, the best of Adidas. Everything that is essential and nothing that is not. And by American Airlines, the airline that is proud to be selected the official carrier of the United States World Cup team. American Airlines, something special in the air. And by Sprint. Sprint has a better way for all your telecommunication needs. Now the Budweiser halftime report, brought to you by the King of Beers. Nothing beats a Bud.
Here are the highlights. Linda Hamilton, with a dead ball situation, sends it up to Michelle Akers-Stahl, who lays a good ball off to Julie Foudy. Sends it over the net, but a good start.
Michelle Akers-Stahl, though, got on the board early. Karen Jennings, she got open several times in the first half just this way. Crossed it out in front. Mia Hamm, a wicked header. Save made by Hong, but right there was Michelle Akers-Stahl, 1-0 U.S.
Watch this diving header by Mia Hamm. She comes in so hard, it looks like she's hitting it with her foot. And there's Michelle Akers-Stahl to get her first goal.
1-0 U.S. Still on the attack. Michelle Akers-Stahl, will she hold the ball in? Yes.
But watch this. The right foot's not open, so she puts it to her left foot with a left-footed cross, right on the money. And watch April Henrichs sky to get this head ball. Good save by goalkeeper Hang.
Next, a free kick. You don't see this very often. Michelle Akers-Stahl, her second goal of the night.
This is a professional goal. She bends it up and over a wall that's coming at her, up into the upper left-hand corner. Watch this. Right there, great goal, number 2 for Michelle Akers-Stahl.
That made it 2-0 United States, but the U.S. still on the attack. April Henrichs crosses it in the midfield as the U.S. leading by 2 looks for more. Ball played down the wing. Nice overlapping run by Linda Hamilton. She crosses it. Hong does the only thing she can do, and that's fist it out of the zone. The defender fans on the clearing pass, and Akers-Stahl is there to drill it home.
There's a number of aspects to this goal. A good pass to the corner by Mia Hamm. Linda Hamilton comes up with the cross, and Hong, the keeper, the only thing she could have done was fist it out, because right behind her, waiting for that cross, was Julie Foudy. So let's see if we can take a look at this. Here's the pass. Mia Hamm down to the corner. Linda Hamilton gathers it up, has a good cross, looking for Julie Foudy. Hong fists it away. The Taiwanese defender fans on this clear, and you can't do that with Michelle Akers-Stahl around, because she'll burn you every single time.
That made it 3-0. The U.S. continuing on the attack. Ball dropped loose, and the drive by Shannon Higgins up over the crossbar. The U.S., though, gets another opportunity. This time, it's Julie Foudy. Look at this second effort.
Here's another dead ball situation. Christine Lilly sends in a long ball. Now, when you see this, watch for Michelle Akers-Stahl. She uses her height, all 5'10", to get up, beat the Taiwanese defenders, to skip it on, and find Julie Foudy all alone. And she makes a great second effort, sliding it under the goalkeeper.
This has been the Budweiser Halftime Report, brought to you by the King of Beers. Nothing beats a Bud. You're watching the first FIFA World Championship for Women's Soccer on Sports Channel. Top of Taiwan. High score of 4-0. We are at halftime. The Taiwanese have made their way back out onto the field. We expect the Americans back momentarily. And we understand, we have just been told that there will be a couple of substitutions for the Americans.
Well, April Henrichs, the captain, will be coming out. Anson Durrance calls April Henrichs a great player and a powerful intimidator, and he's taking out his captain. It may mean that the torn cartilage that she had in August is acting up again. It's been bothering her through the tournament, and she's had a sore knee. So maybe this is a chance to let that knee settle down again, because this game is in hand. But the substitution for her is a defensive player. April Henrichs is a forward. Debbie Belkin, who's coming in for her, is a defensive player. Now, this might seem a little bit odd, but maybe it's because the game's in hand. You want to put in another defensive player so Taiwan cannot get back into the game. But this goes contrary to Anson Durance's philosophy of constantly attacking and attacking the other team, putting in more defensive players.
Karen Jennings getting set to kick it off to Michelle Akers-Stahl. Boy, what a game so far for Michelle. 3 goals on the night, and we are just halfway done. United States leading by a score of 4-0. Here we go, second half. We are into single elimination. The team that loses this game is done for the night. Joy Biefeld on the attack. Down the right side. There you get a look at the score.
If you notice the flag there that Taiwan has, that is not their official flag. Their official flag, they're unable to fly in China, and that's a flag that I guess both sides agreed on.
Here's Mia Hamm laying it out to Shannon Higgins. Higgins just can't get to the ball. Now knocks it ahead. Ooh, Jennings couldn't quite get to it, and Hong is there for Taiwan. What good opportunity there as the U.S. team just buzzing around the Taiwan penalty area.
You really see the U.S. dominating that first half in 2 areas, one with their height and one with their speed. Here it comes again.
Mia Hamm towards the penalty area, knocked down. We may have a penalty kick here. Hong just cut the legs out from under Mia Hamm and really did the only thing she could do in that situation. Hamm may be hurt.
Well, Mia Hamm had her dead to rights. Hong really didn't have any other choice but to trip her. She came out, and Mia Hamm was all alone coming in at her, and that's about the only thing that Hong could have done.
Well, give a lot of credit to Joy Biefeld. She put a great ball right on the foot of Mia Hamm, and there will be a penalty kick awarded. And guess who's going to take it?
Oh, no. You know, some players go through their whole career trying to get a hat trick. Michelle Akers-Stahl got one in the first half. She could get a fourth if she makes this shot.
Michelle Akers-Stahl going for 4. She scores! And the United States leads now 5-0. Oh, Michelle Akers-Stahl, just outstanding here tonight. Boy, and look at Hong.
She's unhappy with herself. She's kind of mocking herself in that this ball goes right under her. She guessed right. It was a finesse shot, and it goes right by her outstretched arm. I mean, she just couldn't do anything about it. And great shot. Michelle Akers-Stahl has scored 3 different types of goals.
That ball was past her. That ball was past her. Really nothing that Hong could have done about that. So it's 5-0. The United States are commanding 5-goal lead early in this, the second half. Hong now will play it herself. Out to Low, back to Hong.
How many ways can Michelle Akers-Stahl score? I mean, she scores on a rebound attacking the ball. She scores on a rebound falling away from the ball. She scores from a free kick 25 yards away over top of the wall. And now here, she scores on a penalty kick.
They're going to have to find a new way to score a goal because I think she's done it all here tonight.
And I think she'll be the first one to give the credit to the rest of her team and to her husband, Robbie Stahl, who she works with so closely on her shooting.
Ball shot to center. Now Belkin plays it ahead.
Now that's one thing I've always found a little unfair in the soccer scoring system. Here Michelle Akers-Stahl had scored off of 2 rebounds. She didn't set them up. That came from good crosses by, say, Karen Jennings and Linda Hamilton. However, she gets credit for it because somebody else touched the ball. They were set up by her teammates, and that's why she will give credit to her teammates.
Even on the penalty kick. Biefeld gave a great ball to Mia Hamm. Hamm did the work, moved into the area, got tripped up by the keeper, thus the penalty kick. So really a lot of credit to go around.
Absolutely, and they will do it. They will give credit all around.
Now Hong will play it out for the Taiwanese. They trail by a score of 5-0. Just an amazing offensive performance by Michelle Akers-Stahl here tonight. And we have a long way to go in this one. And a foul against the Taiwanese. Christine Lilly will play it in for the United States on the free kick.
What do you say if you're the Taiwanese coach? We can't beat them in the air. We can't beat them with our speed. What do we do? I think they have to go with what they went with in the beginning of the first half, was real tight marking and not giving any room at all to the U.S. players up front.
Ball comes down to Michelle Akers-Stahl, but I think we'll have a foul against Michelle. Jumping into the defender. And the restart will come to Chu-Yin. United States leading 5-0. This the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. And as you look, just 5 minutes gone here in the second half. All controlled by Michelle Akers-Stahl. Plays it all the way back. Carla Werden, she has been a tower of strength for this team. Everything that happens starts from the back, and Carla Werden is really the last line of defense next to Mary Harvey.
That she is, but she also sets up the offense. She directs people, lets people know, like there. Christine Lilly had someone on her back, and I'm sure Carla Werden was yelling, saying, someone on your back. And that helps a great deal because then you have vision all around you, even though you can't see the man, the woman.
Debbie Belkin feeds ahead, looks for Joy Biefeld. Well, finally controlled by Taiwan. U.S. doing a good job here, not allowing Taiwan to really get out on offense. Now Mia Hamm on the attack for the United States. And we're going to get a foul here.
Does not sound like the crowd liked that foul. I think they said it was a play-on type of call, but the official says it's a foul, free kick.
Min-Hsun Wu on the foul. Shannon Higgins, she's the playmaker out there. She'll restart on this free kick. Chips it into the area. The header, the goal! Michelle Akers-Stahl! 5 goals on the evening.
Unbelievable. That's almost like a quick set in volleyball. A short cross to the near post. Shannon Higgins sets this up beautifully, and a diving header by Michelle Akers-Stahl. That's the goal I forgot. I can't believe it. There's another way to score. Great diving header by Michelle Akers-Stahl.
5 goals on the evening. Here it is again from ground level. Beautiful goal by Michelle Akers-Stahl in the United States. Up 6-0. This is on the way to being a rout, although there's still a lot of time remaining.
With the 5th goal by Michelle Akers-Stahl, that has set a record. No other player in FIFA championships has ever scored 5 goals in a game.
Ever?
That's ever. That's a record. Congratulations to Michelle Akers-Stahl.
Well earned.
What's she going to do next? A bicycle kick?
Don't encourage her. United States on the defensive here. Stepping up, though, Joy Biefeld. And Biefeld plays it out of bounds. Throw into Taiwan. Boy, I tell you, if you're Taiwan, you got to say, hey, we got this far in the tournament. We're into the quarterfinals. Now we're down 6-0. What do you do here?
I'm not sure if you have damage assessment, try to limit the damage. Really, you feel that you're out of it. Maybe at this point, all you're trying to do, and maybe that's what they're saying to themselves now, just try to get a goal. Get some respectability. Keep attacking. Play tenacious defense. They've really done as much as they could possibly do, and they're just being overwhelmed by the size and the speed of the U.S. team.
Now down the left side, Lin crosses it in front. We get a whistle and a foul against Taiwan. Restart coming up to the United States. That time, Meei-Chun Lin pushing off, and the United States will take over. If you're Denmark or Germany, you're obviously scouting this game. How do you go about stopping Michelle Akers-Stahl? They're going to have to find a way.
Well, Sweden was able to do it. Gunilla Pekul, her coach in Sweden, knew how to stop Michelle Akers-Stahl. She was able to slow her down. I think it's just one-to-one marking. You have to put somebody on Michelle Akers-Stahl all over the field and then hope that you can stop her.
Now Low with it, turns away. Plays it up the left side, Chen. Her feet up out of bounds and a throw-in coming up to the United States. The U.S. leading 6-0. It has been an amazing offensive performance for Michelle Akers-Stahl. In fact, a record-setting performance, as Matt mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. And they'll do that again. In fact, the ball will go over. Well, now they're going to rule a foul away from the throw-in. So a restart to the United States, and Shannon Higgins.
She's played a good game tonight. She's really controlled the middle of the field. She's set up a number of plays, and although she's not really gotten on the board herself, she has been responsible for a number of the U.S. opportunities.
Now Taiwan just trying to get anything going, much like the Japanese a couple of days ago. As you look at 10 minutes gone in this second half, I think now they're looking for respectability more than anything else. They have been whitewashed to this point. They're down 6-0. You talk about playing for pride, but sometimes you just have to flat out play for respectability.
Absolutely. They, as we talked about earlier, they lost to Italy 5-0 and Germany 3-0. Those are very good teams, and Taiwan did a great job just getting here. They were 4-0 in their group and only lost to China. And China's an excellent team, one of the favorites to get in to the semifinals or even the finals.
One has to wonder about the conditioning of this Taiwan team. First few minutes of the game, they were beating the United States, or at least heavily contesting those 50-50 balls. They were getting the balls first. They were being tough. They were being aggressive. They have not done that here the last, what, 15 minutes of this contest.
Well, April Henrichs, in a game against Norway, she was doing some sideline commentary, said at the time that the U.S. is the most physically fit team in the world. There is no other team as fit as the U.S. That's a pretty daring statement, a pretty bold statement, considering the competition that they're in, but it seems to be bearing out. In each of these games, with the possible exception of Sweden, the U.S. has really shown what conditioning has done. Now, you tack that conditioning on top of great skill, tactical awareness, and mental toughness, and you have what you see here, an awesome team. I mean, this is just an awesome display by the U.S. women.
Chu-Yin low, lays it in. Headed back by Joy Biefeld. Nice play there defensively by Chen. And Chen will make a run up the left side. Biefeld breaks up that play. Now Mia Hamm plays it ahead. Michelle Akers-Stahl. Will she get 6? Going wide. And the ball out of bounds.
Nice defensive play. Michelle Akers-Stahl was driving to the line, and she did about the only thing that she could do. The Taiwanese defender waited for that one little mistake when Michelle Akers-Stahl pushed the ball too far out in front of her and just knocked it out of bounds, gave up the corner kick, but certainly saved what would have been a dangerous cross.
Nice ball, by the way, from Mia Hamm to Michelle Akers-Stahl, setting up that nice run. Corner kick coming up. Karen Jennings will put the ball into play. U.S. leading 6-0. Ball crossed in front, loose in the area. U.S. tries to get a shot away, unable to do so.
Good defense. They came out very strong to clear that ball. As soon as the ball went out towards the top of the 18-yard area, the entire Taiwanese team ran out to clear it. And that shows, again, they haven't given up, and they're going to play some tough soccer for the rest of this game.
United States leading by 6. Will they make it 7? What about Michelle Akers-Stahl? She scored 5 already. Will she make it 6? Don't go anywhere. United States trying to make an impression here. They have done so, certainly against the Japanese, most definitely against the Taiwanese here tonight. Now Christine Lilly tries a through ball looking for Michelle Akers-Stahl. It's loose, headed into the area, but right to Hong. Boy, every time Michelle Akers-Stahl touches the ball, you get the feeling there's a chance she's going to score a goal.
Well, Michelle Akers-Stahl, if she doesn't do something dangerous for herself, can do something dangerous for her teammates. There, she skied above the defense, headed the ball down into a dangerous position where Taiwan had to come up with a good defensive play, or they would have been put under the gun again.
You know, something that we've seen here in this tournament, and especially here tonight with the 5 goals scored, much as what we've seen from great men's players around the world, when they touch the ball, the crowd oohs and ahs with anticipation. And there's a sense that, hey, there might be something very special happen in the next few moments. You don't see that with a lot of players, but you see it with a lot of great players. And Michelle Akers-Stahl certainly qualifies. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw into the United States.
Well, you're seeing that tonight, too. Every time there's an offensive attack, depending on who's ever attacking, whether it's Taiwan or the U.S., the crowd is responding. Karen Jennings, who you saw just pass the ball there, she's also having an excellent tournament and an excellent game.
Linda Hamilton crosses into the area. Ball cleared out of bounds. It'll be a throw into the United States. Coming over to take it, Joy Biefeld. Outstanding attacking outside defender out of Cal Berkeley. Resides in Huntington Beach, California. Long way from home, as are all these women here tonight. Now Debbie Belkin, as you get a look at the Taiwanese bench, not too happy with the proceedings. Their team down 6-0.
There's concern on the bench, but certainly no shame. I mean, Taiwan has played wonderfully just to get here, and for them to get into this final quarterfinals of the tournament has to be a great honor for them. And there's no question that soccer in Asia is just getting better all the time. Look at China themselves, one of the tournament favorites.
And China also a part of these quarterfinals. Here's Shannon Higgins. Julie Foudy playing a little bit further up front here tonight. Now Joy Biefeld going wide and out of bounds. And it looks like we'll get a corner kick to the United States. So another scoring chance coming up here for the United States. They already lead 6-0. And we're getting some scores in as we go along here this evening.
Yeah, it looks like Germany will be the U.S.'s next opponent. Germany beat Denmark 2-1. In the other bracket, as it were, Norway beat Italy 3-0. And China lost to Sweden 1-0. Now that was going to be a tough game that could have gone either way.
Ball slapped at by Hong, and out of bounds it goes. Let's see who touched it last. And I believe they're going to rule that Taiwan will get a goal kick here. Substitution coming on for the United States. That's Lori Henry. And look who she's going in for. Carla Werden, number 4.
Now, she should get a big hand because she has played just such solid soccer, organizing the defense and probably making things a heck of a lot easier for Mary Harvey.
So Carla Werden goes out. Lori Henry comes in. There you get a look at Lori. So the United States making their second substitution. They're allowed 2. So this means that Michelle Akers-Stahl will remain in the game for the entire 80 minutes. I guess when you got a player who's hot, you go to her again and again and again. Now Linda Hamilton looks for Meei-Chun, rejected there. U.S. trying to keep the pressure on. Now Christine Lilly plays it back. Lori Henry gets a touch on the ball. How difficult is it to sit for, what, 50, 60 minutes, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, go in?
Well, they don't really sit, and you can see them working on the sideline much of the game. The players who have a chance of getting in will be working out on the sideline or in the end zone of the field, just kicking the ball around, keeping the blood flowing in the legs so that they are ready and warmed up to go. When Anson Durrance decides that a player is going to go in, he lets them know, and then she can get warmed up even more so that when she comes into the game, the first thing she wants to do is get a few touches on the ball, but she is warmed up.
Now Belkin feeds ahead. Knocked down by Joy Biefeld. Biefeld. Ooh, look at that. Tough tackle. Michelle Akers-Stahl, and no call on the play. Now Biefeld goes wide. Joy Biefeld chips towards the area. Knocked down in front. Very close to a handball there. Akers-Stahl feeds towards the area, rejected. And out of bounds it goes, a throw into the United States. Well, I tell you, a lot of teams with a 6-0 lead would just say, well, let's just knock it around for the next 20 minutes or so and let's go home with a victory. But the United States still hungry for goals. Meei-Chun will play it in. On the throw-in. Julie Foudy colliding with Chow. Say play on. Belkin battling. Now a whistle and a foul. And a possible injury back towards the U.S. penalty area. Might have been a handball, and yes, we get a handball against Taiwan. Su-Ching whistle down for the handball. And the restart to the United States, leading 6-0. Barring a miracle, the U.S. will almost certainly advance to the semifinals against Germany. Of course, a unified Germany now, so no West Germany or East Germany, simply Germany. On the throw-in, Linda Hamilton. She has had a solid tournament. Now Lori Henry. She just came into the game. Shoots it ahead. Looking. Finds Biefeld towards the area. Meei-Chun centers, and right there, the goalkeeper, Hong.
Looks like Hamm is down on the field. Joy Biefeld put a nice pass down in there, and I think you see the goalkeeper kicking the ball out of bounds so that the injured players can be attended to. That's what we were talking about before. I think that's why you don't substitute for the goalkeeper. Here's a possible injury. You don't like to see that happen, but towards the end of a game, especially a game that's out of hand like this, 6-0, your guard is down, and maybe you're not protecting yourself as well as you can. And here, 2 players get tangled up, and 2 players are down. We hope they're all right, but we shall see.
What about on the referee? I would think at this point in the game, a game can get out of hand so easily. Is it important for the referee to keep control of this game?
Well, yes, it is important, and he seems to have control of this game. He is not letting it get out of hand, and Taiwan has certainly not shown any indication to get it out of hand. Now look, there's April Henrichs there. She has an ice bag on her knee, so obviously her left knee is bothering her a little bit. There's the goalkeeper coach, and there's Anson Durance there in the background there. Little concern on his face going into the semifinals.
Boy, one has to wonder with April Henrichs coming out, and wasn't as much of a factor in this game in her one half of play as one might have thought with the left knee wrapped. Does that raise a question in your mind, Matt, as far as whether we might see her against Germany?
Oh, at this point, I think you'd have to tie her down to keep her out of this game. No matter what she feels like, she's going to lie to the coach to get in there. I would. I want to play, coach. Put me in. It feels great.
You look at Linda Hamilton on the throw-in, and they give it up to the Taiwanese. Another good display of sportsmanship because of the injured players.
And that's why I know this game will not get out of hand. There's been great sportsmanship throughout this tournament. Hard-fought games, but tremendous sportsmanship.
Well, you've seen a lot of the signs around the stadium, both in Chinese and in English, fair play. And we have seen that throughout this tournament, not just in the games involving the U.S., but all of the teams in this tournament.
Well, I think this game is in hand. You can take a look at the U.S.'s next opponent. They are going to play Germany. Now, Germany won the European Championship. They are the best team in Europe right now. Their top player is Heidi Moore. She scored a couple of goals, and she's one of those players that she's not fast, she's not strong, but you have to watch her the entire game because she's incredibly dangerous. She can beat you at any time.
Has the U.S. come up against a team yet with as much firepower as Germany? I would think, you know, the U.S. playing with all of this great talent offensively, but have they taken on a team that returns the favor, so to speak?
I think they have played teams with that kind of talent. Sweden in the first game. There's a very, very talented team that was on top of the world's women's game for many years. Norway also. That's another good team. And China, even though they lost to Sweden, they are a terrific team with great skills and speed. So the U.S. has played all these teams in the last year and knows what to expect. Germany's game is a little unlike Sweden and Norway's. Germany plays a controlled game, very similar to their men. They have solid, skilled athletes, and they've got a proven system, just like their male counterparts.
Well, that is going to be a great matchup, and you will see it here on Sports Channel America. U.S. now knocking it back to Mary Harvey. U.S. slowing down the pace a little bit, trying to take the air out of the ball, maybe with less than 15 minutes to go and a 6-goal lead. Maybe also not trying to really pour it on the Taiwanese.
Well, I think they've slowed the pace down, but they certainly have not stopped attacking.
The U.S. very cognizant that it doesn't take a long lapse to result in 2 or 3 goals.
Also, one motivating thing for Germany, Germany has never beaten the U.S. And in the most recent European tour this year, the U.S. beat Germany 4-2. And so there's going to be some motivation on Germany's part, and that's bound to be a close, hard-fought game.
Long ball, played by the U.S. Joy Biefeld. And back it comes to Mary Harvey. Mary Harvey has, by my count, 2 saves in the contest so far. She has not been busy at all. And the U.S., by my count, with 9 shots on goal themselves.
Well, the U.S. has dominated pretty much every phase of this game, and you want to get out of this game healthy. So control the ball, keep attacking, don't try to embarrass the other team, but you can't deny your nature. You don't want to fall out of the sink that they're in right now. They're really hitting on all cylinders. As we talked about coming into this game, they looked like they were healthy and playing well. They have to carry that in to the semifinals against Germany.
U.S. now with the ball, knocking it back to Mary Harvey. And boy, I tell you, you think about that U.S.-Germany matchup, which I think it's going to be a fabulous matchup. It really is going to pit 2 great scoring teams. Also, that solid defense that the Germans are so famous for. And I think, as far as the games that we've seen, Sweden, Japan, Brazil, now Taiwan, I think it's going to be the best matchup for the United States so far. And the great thing is, though, that the United States comes into this semifinal game against Germany in great shape. They're physically reasonably healthy. They'll get a couple of days to rest after this one. Debbie Belkin now plays it back. Lori Henry powers it back to midfield. Headed high in the air by Sue.
Not only are they healthy, but their game is very varied. Their attack is varied. All sorts of people have been scoring goals. A couple by Henrichs, a couple by Hamm, many by Akers-Stahl. And Karen Jennings has just been phenomenal moving the ball around. And that all comes from everyone else on the field. The playmakers, Shannon Higgins, Julie Foudy coming up out of her defensive role at midfield, coming up with plays, attacking, and it all coming from the back. Carla Werden setting up the defense. Joy Biefeld attacking from the defense. That's what's so incredible about the U.S. game right now, is that there's so many ways they attack you, so many different people who can attack you, that how do you defend it? I don't see how, unless you have an incredibly solid defense. And then you don't have a chance to attack.
Well, no one has been able to stop the U.S. offensive juggernaut yet in this tournament. Off the throw-in. Taiwan looking for its first goal and unable to come up with it here. Another throw-in to the Taiwanese. This time, Shwu-Ju knocks it in. U.S. leading 6-0. We are in Foshan, China. United States leading Taiwan 6-0. There you get a look at the time. So just under 10 minutes remaining in this game. I'm Kevin Wall along with Matt Farr. These two teams battling for the M&M Cup. And the United States, if they can win here tonight, and it looks like they will be just 2 wins away from that coveted M&M Cup.
How powerful is the U.S. offense and defense? Well, to date in these 4 games, they've scored 17 goals, 17 goals, and only given up 2. So they're playing real good soccer on both ends of the ball. Here's a shot.
Shia centers in front. Oh, they're knocked down, and let's see what we're going to have here.
Penalty kick?
We may well have a penalty kick. And I believe we are. Meei-Chun taken down in the penalty area. And a penalty kick coming up. So the Taiwanese, and listen to this crowd. They want Taiwan to get on the board.
That's what the crowd wanted. That's what the crowd got. If ever you will see a goalkeeper challenge, it's here on the penalty kick. Mary Harvey has to make a decision. She will most likely guess one way or the other. And And as we said before, the two type of penalty kicks, either blast it hard to one side or the other, or try to finesse and outguess the keeper.
The shot. Oh, hit the post. Rebounds in front. Ball is loose. Nice block there. Back into the midfield.
Oh, how unlucky for Chow can you get? I mean, here she has a nice penalty kick that hits the post, and the rebound comes right back to her.
Now Chow again. This time on goal, Mary Harvey the save. Rebound in front. Another save. Mary Harvey has not been busy tonight, but two big saves there.
Boy, did she come up with a big one there. She didn't have much to do with the penalty kick, but boy, did she have a great save. The first save slips through her hands, and then on the melee afterwards, she grabs a hold of it. And again, I think they kicked the ball out of bounds on purpose to see to the injured Taiwanese player in the penalty area.
So an injured Taiwanese player. Again, we look at it from ground level.
Oh, she caught Mary Harvey going the wrong direction. Just what she wanted to do, tried to finesse it to the right side of the goal, and hits the post. Very unlucky. The Taiwanese girls have to be shaking their heads. What do we have to do to score?
Su-Ching Wu being helped off the field, and while they replaced her yet, though.
I can't see how she is right now, but that's sad. I hope she's all right.
Now Lin plays it. Taiwan had a golden opportunity to get on the board, but the penalty kick hit the post. Now the United States. Shannon Higgins.
Well, we talked about how good the U.S. is on and off the ball, both offensively and defensively. 17 goals for, only 2 against in 4 games. Well, Germany's just as good on offense. They have 11 goals on offense, and only against Denmark have they given up a goal in these quarterfinal matches. So Germany also 11 goals for and only 1 against. Another stingy defense.
The United States right now is playing what I guess would be the soccer equivalent of a 4-corner type of offense. They're not really attacking with the vengeance that they did earlier in the game. It's almost like asking UNLV to run the 4-corner. How difficult is it for players that are so instinctively, you know, forward-looking, attacking type of players to ask them to just kind of knock it around?
I think they're just slowing down their attack rather than rush forward. Maybe they're just trying to control the ball and go forward. Does look like we got the injured player back on the field, so she is all right. The referee had to stop play. When a player is injured and comes off the field, he has to wait for the referees, she has to wait for the referee's permission to come back on the field, and that comes out off of a dead ball situation.
Under 10 minutes remaining. Ball played out of bounds. A throw-in coming up to the United States. There you get a look at it. And actually under 5 minutes remaining, although we do have plenty of injury time, so that is being kept down on the field. We'll keep you apprised of that as we go along. U.S. 6 goals here tonight, 5 of them by Michelle Akers-Stahl. U.S. I'm sure would like to get more. A long lead pass. Nowhere near the mark. Lori Henry, the only player back there.
If you were to try to pick out a weakness, Kevin, on this U.S. squad, what would you say it is? How would you attack this U.S. squad, or how would you defend against this U.S. squad?
You know, it's so tough because you look at this team, they're impressive physically. You're not going to out-muscle this team. You're not going to outspeed this team because they've got speed up the wings with people like Mia Hamm. They're strong along the back, players like Carla Werden, Joy Biefeld. You look along the back, Debbie Belkin, who has played back there. You're not going to outspeed this team. You're not going to out-physical this team. You just got to, and I'm not sure how you defend them. I don't think any team has really figured a way to defend this team, short of probably Norway with their 2 wins over in the States just a couple of months ago.
Or the way Sweden seemed to come back in the game. And that it also seemed to be, and I know it was a hypothetical question, Kevin, but it almost seemed like the best way to attack the U.S., to try to score against the U.S., is with that long ball. Maybe beat the U.S. with a quick counterattack while the U.S. is attacking and the defense is a little thin. because a slow building attack just doesn't seem to work against these women.
They were looking for Karen Jennings there. Right there, though, was Chu-Yin low. That pass got through. Christine Lilly battles along with Shia. Lilly gets there first.
Incidentally, word has come in that Anson Durance's team, the University of North Carolina, has won the women's NCAA championship.
Boy, you got to wonder if word is filtered down to the bench. We got that here in the press area. I'm not sure if the bench area knows that. I'm not sure if a coach would want his team to know that during a game, although in a 6-0 game, I don't know. Maybe we change the rules a little bit.
Is that team powerful? I mean, they won the championship without 2 of their players and without their head coach. And those 2 players will be back next year.
Here's Chen going one-on-one against Biefeld. The back pass. Lin plays it all the way back into her own zone. Well, we are down under 4 minutes in regulation. We will have some injury time added. That's being kept down on the field. The United States will play Germany. We know that. It will be in just a couple of days.
And Norway will play Sweden in the other semifinal match.
Who do you like in that matchup?
Well, that's a tough one to call because they both fought each other to Norway beat Sweden in the European Championship, but again, they're closely related in styles. They know each other, they play each other often, and again, I have to call that a pick'em.
Well, you get the feeling in talking with some of these American women, they'd love to get a chance to play Norway in the finals.
Well, they would have, yeah, that's right. They would avenge the 2 losses that they had to Norway in the United States, where Megan McCarthy was hurt and couldn't make this trip. And it would avenge those losses if they did get a chance to play Norway and possibly beat them. The other thing is Norway has Bertha Hegstedt, and she played for, who else? Anson Durance at UNC. And so she also knows the style of the U.S. team.
Now Mia Hamm going wide, wants another one, and her cross deflected across the line by Chu-Yin low. So a corner kick coming up here. We're down to the final probably couple of minutes of this one. Karen Jennings doing a magnificent job early on. How many times did she break free down the left side?
She really has shown great control on a short corner. She doesn't have a lot of room to work with, but she's shown great control on these crosses, both in dead ball situations and just getting open.
The header out in front, save, rebound, score!
There it is again. I mean, set up by a cross, a dead ball situation. Karen Jennings sends it across, a shot is taken, a rebound, and there is Joy Biefeld to ram it home.
The USSF Player of the Year in 1988 coming up with a goal here tonight. And they rule it officially 80-14, so outside of regulation, but into injury time. And the United States...
And who else gets the first header?
Oh, look at that.
Michelle Akers-Stahl.
Amazing.
It happened to her twice. She got 2 rebound goals. And now Joy Biefeld gets her goal. Look at how high she gets up for that. Hamm did the only thing she can, tried to stretch for it, slipped off her fingers, but you can't do that. Joy Biefeld is right there to put it away.
That makes it 7-0. The referee looking at his watch.
Let this end, Kevin. Unbelievable. 7-0.
This was... I tell you, we've talked about impressive performance by the Americans, but this was an awesome performance, not only by the American team, but by Michelle Akers-Stahl. Final 30 seconds. Hong, boy, I tell you, it's got to be a disappointment for her. Li-Chyn Hong, the goalkeeper for the Taiwanese.
And, you know, you think back on it, there's the end of the game.
There it is.
You think back on it, there's really not a whole lot that Hamm could have done to stop any of those goals.
So the United States is now just 2 wins away from the M&M Cup. in the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. Final score, 7-0. Let's take a break. You're watching the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer on Sports. 7-0 win over the Taiwanese. The night belonged to Michelle Akers-Stahl. Here, Karen Jennings crosses it. Mia Hamm gets a head on it. Hong gets a hand on it. And Michelle Akers-Stahl gets a foot on it. A rebound and a score, 1-0 U.S.
Great move by Karen Jennings to cross it. Mia Hamm with a tremendous header, but Michelle Akers-Stahl starts the tide going.
And when she wasn't scoring goals, she was creating good scoring chances. Here, she moves down the right side.
She scored the first goal with her right foot, but here she sets up a brilliant cross with her left foot and finds April Henrichs skying to get up for the head. Good save by Li-Chyn Hong.
Now on a free kick, Michelle Akers-Stahl again. Pinpoint shooting up for left-hand corner.
Now a penalty kick. Great finesse. Even with the keeper guessing the right direction, she still threads the needle to the left side of the net.
Ah, but Michelle Akers-Stahl was not done tonight. Shannon Higgins crosses in front. The header by Akers-Stahl and a goal.
Here it is again, a quick set like in volleyball. A diving header. Michelle Akers-Stahl has scored in every conceivable way.
Again, Michelle Akers-Stahl goes up, sets up. Joy Biefeld for the final goal of the game. The U.S. wins 7-0. Michelle Akers-Stahl, 5 goals on the night. The United States, 7 goals and a 7-0 win over Taiwan. Let's take a look at the statistics from tonight's game. The United States with a clear shot-on-goal advantage.
Yes, they led 11-3, but I think that's a misleading stat because they are shots into the goal mouth, whereas the U.S. took a number of shots that were just wide, just over, melees in and around the net, and I would call that shots around the goal, and I would think the U.S. would have a lot more if that were the case.
Saves, just 1 credited for Mary Harvey, although she handled the ball much more than that, and just 1 for Hong, the fine goalkeeper for Taiwan, I think much because America scored 7 on her.
That they did, and a lot of times Hong just didn't have any other choice. She had to knock the ball out with her fist, and it always seemed to go right to a U.S. player's foot.
Next up for the Americans, Germany in the semifinals of this FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. And what sort of challenge will Germany present to this American squad?
Somewhat